Alrighty, let's go ahead and crank this up a little bit. Okay. So yesterday I definitely had a video for the Writing Wednesday ready to go, but I didn't upload it because it was boring, and that's one thing that I don't want to do is upload anything that's boring. Basically, I don't know what was wrong with me that day, but a lot of it was. It seemed like I was tired, like I was really exhausted. Huge bags under my eyes, which I've been developing like huge bags under my eyes like a lot lately. I don't know why. I'm getting a good amount of sleep. I'm dreaming. Which let me talk about dreaming. If you're not dreaming, um, and remembering the dreams, you're probably dreaming. But if you're not, don't remember whether or not you were dreaming last night, you're probably not getting enough sleep, or you're probably waking up in the middle of the night, et cetera, and so forth. So, but yeah, I was been dreaming a lot. And it's not like they've been nightmares. A lot of it has been just, me just walking around really calm. And a lot of it has been like very lucid dreams. I've been, walking around and, I'll walk around and I'm like, hey, this is a dream. But that means that I'm hitting REM sleep. I'm not being bothered by anything. So I'm clearly in a good place in my life. Okay. So, remember to drink a glass of water as soon as you wake up. That's actually really good advice. It's actually really, really, really good advice. But anyway, so I deleted that video because it was really, really boring. So I deleted it, and also I rambled on too long talking about the same kind of stuff. I hope that life is a dream, not a nightmare. I really hope that life is a dream and not a nightmare. Because if this is a nightmare, this is really boring. Well, for me. For some people, it probably is a nightmare, but for me, it's just kind of like it's just a thing. So I talked about writing. I did a Writing Wednesday video, and I just kind of want to like loosely go over that really quick, which is something that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing the Writing Wednesdays as more of these live streams, just because a lot of it's me rambling anyway. But this way, you guys would get to actually be involved. So, but then I also want to get into voiceover and any questions, and also want to show off that behind me real quick. I'm going to see if I can move out of the way. Finally set up all my game consoles. Well, not all of them, but most of the game consoles behind me. Just because I've always wanted to just put them on display like that, and I never had the opportunity. It's not a new mic. Actually, I've had this mic for a long time. It is the Audio-Technica 87.5R, and it is actually my traveling mic. I have a traveling one of it somewhere, but it's normally the mic that I travel with my iRig Pro when I go on the road, and then I just need a mic to be with me because it's a small shotgun mic, and it sounds really good. There is an issue, however. I tried plugging it up to my phone, and last night, which is yesterday, which is why I wasn't able to upload a video. I was doing comedy, and it was like a 3-hour, two and a half hour drive, and then I was there at the comedy club for like 5 hours. Not 5 hours. It's more like 4. I got there like an hour early, and then I went up first. I did 10 minutes, and then stayed until like the end of the show, which I normally do. I'm trying to read some of these comments. The one you suggest. Yep, it is in fact the one I suggest. It's the one I suggest a lot, actually, because people ask me, if I had to like narrow it down to like one microphone, the one that I would probably suggest the most is going to be this mic. I don't think it's good for everything. It's not good for everybody. It's not good for every situation, but it's the one that I'm like, not knowing exactly what your situation is. It's the microphone that I think would work the best for most people. Have I done any work with the Shure SM7B? I have not. I do plan on getting my hands on one at some point in time. From what I've heard from other people's demos, it sounds very similar to the SM57, which, except for the fact that it has a lower noise floor. And I think it requires less juice to get, good gain, good volume. So, but I haven't worked with it, so I can't really say. Howdy, normal TV nerd. Just normal TV nerd. So hi, how's it going? So anyway, but the video that I was going to upload was all about I saw the Ninja Turtles, not the Ninja Turtles, the Power Rangers movie. The Power Rangers movie. And there's been this epidemic lately of either really bad movies or really meh movies. And this was one of those meh. I didn't hate it. There was a lot of people that hated it. But I thought it was okay. I didn't have high expectations. I didn't have high hopes. Yes, I was a fan of the original Power Rangers. But for the most part, it wasn't like a franchise that I was like, the Power Ranger franchise has already been pretty much ruined with all the different and new TV shows that have followed since the original. They just become more and more weird and more abstract. But it was one thing that I really wanted to talk about, and that was it was kind of a spoiler. But it isn't really. Like if you've seen the trailer, it's not a spoiler because the trailer ruins it already. There's one character that ends up dying in the film. And then they bring them back to life. Now, of course, the reason I'm saying that this isn't really a spoiler if you watch the trailer is because in the trailer, you see all the characters, in their armor. You see all of them in the trailer. So, and at some point in time, this is also another epidemic, trailers that ruin the movie. At some point in time, you see all the characters, all suited up. But before you even ever get to see them suited up, one of the characters dies. So it's clearly like not even suspenseful because oh, he's going to come back. Clearly, everything's going to be fine. Like, who cares at this point? But they totally missed an opportunity. Because if you're going to write a character dying in your film or in your script, it has to mean something. There's been lots of movies in my childhood, there was somebody that was saying that death is kind of an adult or mature topic that it's kind of hard to do in a kids movie. But that's not true. That's not really true. I mean, if you think about Iron Giant, one of the best kids movies ever made, one of the best cartoon movies ever made, handled that topic really, really well. If you haven't seen Iron Giant, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Also the original Transformers movie, the cartoon Transformers movie, that was immediately after the TV show, was really had that topic, had that subject. Yes, it was kind of a big thing when it happened. They were like, oh my gosh, they killed off cartoon characters, and people like really freaked out. As a kid, like I felt it. I got it. So if you're going to kill off a character in your script, in your movie, it has to mean something. There has to be weight behind it, and some time has to pass. Even if you know that the character is going to be coming back, even if you know that, ultimately the death itself, the act of them dying doesn't actually mean anything, you have to feel the weight of it with the other characters. There has to be relevance, there has to be a point. And there really wasn't that in the Power Ranger movie. Basically, that was the one moment. Like there was a lot of stuff about the movie that I was kind of, hit or miss or didn't really care for. I thought there was a lot of stuff they did well. I do want to see them do a sequel just because I'm tired of reboots and then immediately dying after that. But have I ever seen Dragon Ball? Oh my god, I have seen Dragon Ball Evolution, and I can't tell you how much I really, really don't care for that movie. I really don't. Dragon Ball Evolution is one of the. I think I have a copy of it somewhere. Oh no, I did get rid of it. Dragon Ball Evolution. I had a copy. I watched it multiple times. First time I watched it, I was like, "Did I miss something? Is there something wrong? Is this the right? Did I actually put in the right movie?" But no, it was really, really bad. But yeah. So that's kind of like the summary of what I was going to be uploading yesterday. Was just kind of me talking about in your scripts, if you're going to kill somebody, which is totally fine, and you can do that really, really well. It has to mean something. It can't just be somebody you don't care about that just dies, or it can't just be someone that you really cared about and then dies for no reason. So there has to be a reason and a weight and a purpose to it. So anyway, now that I got that out of the way, I wanted to also go over some stuff real quick. So on the Patreon, I'm going to be uploading, there's a project involving Super Mario that I'm editing and dubbing, and that I'm going to be uploading some behind the scenes on there. just for, I think I have a couple patrons, some content, maybe just one patron. I think I only have one at this time, but that's going to be going on there. So if anyone was if you are one of those and you're wondering what's going to be going to that, that's what's going to be uploaded there, as well as doing some more one-on-one live stuff on those kind of topics. Like if you have any questions, I'll do just live on there. Writing Wednesdays are going to be more of a live format like this. Hopefully uploading on Wednesdays. I don't know if Wednesday is going to be a good day because, okay, so here's my usual day. I get up in the morning, normally around 10 or 11. So not morning, but I get up relatively early. I'm trying to get up earlier and earlier. And then I check my emails, I check my messages, I check my texts. I get up, so if any client, asks me any questions, I can immediately respond. A timely response is incredibly valuable to clients and clientele and moving forward with your voiceover career. The faster you respond, because most people, they're on the hunt for people to work with. They're on hunt for voice actors to work with, and so they'll be contacting multiple voice actors, and you won't be the only one. But if you're the first to respond, they're more likely to start talking to you and like start ignoring all the other people. So just a little piece of advice. And then immediately after, reading all the messages and knowing what it is that I need to do first, I go take a shower, take a lot of vitamins because you have to stay healthy as a voice actor. You have to stay healthy. And then I go into my recording studio, turn on my computer, and then I start doing a whole bunch of voiceover. And, I try to get as much done as I can. First, I like to do auditions first. Like before I actually do the work, I do the auditions. Like if I'm on voices.com, Voice123, Badalgo, any of those kind of sites, I'll do the auditions first, but not like all of them. I'll only do the ones that I'm more confident that I have a greater chance of getting. I'll do those, get those out of the way. And then I'll move forward onto my actual voiceover. But the problem is lately what's been happening, and I'll get to the comments in just a second. I do see y'all. Yes, I do see y'all, but I'm going to get to it in just a second. Is what'll happen is, lately I'll have a lot of revisions that need to be done. Not too long ago, yesterday, actually, yeah, it was yesterday. A client contacted me for doing a commercial. I did they wanted like a 1 minute, 30-second commercial. It's like 300 words. Yeah, and so it needed to be all said really, really quickly to fit into their video. They sent me the video. I did, a whole bunch of different takes, some faster, some slower. And then I went into my video editing and I took all those takes and I tried to see which ones matched up the best. And the ones that seemed like I could have squeezed it, said it a little bit faster, I'll go back in, I'll re-record, I'll put it in there until it all flows and fits together. And then what it is I'll do is I'll send the client 2 files. I'll send them a file that has all the takes, just all the takes in a row. And then I'll send them the one file that's what I think is the best shortened version. And then, I'll send them, it's the synced up version. I'll send them the synced up version. And so that'll be what I'll send them. And then they told me, hey, we wanted this as Christopher Walken. I was like, what? You didn't say anything about that. So I had to do the whole thing over again, which I try not to do any like impressions as commercials because you're not really supposed to do that unless it's a parody. If it's a parody, then it's fine. But so I tried doing it all over again, and they were like, "Oh, this doesn't sound like him." Yeah, of course it doesn't sound like him. He doesn't talk that fast. And I had to literally tell them, I was like, Christopher Walken doesn't talk that fast. And you almost literally wasted my entire day by not telling me this up front. And they're like, I thought this was all you did. So kind of a back and forth. I wasn't that upfront and brass about it with the client, but So anyway, so that's what I did yesterday. It wasted a good portion of my day. And then I had my live vlog interview with Earl Hall. And then took a short nap before I had to drive and go do a show yesterday. So the entire day that I was supposed to have videos up, I didn't have videos up. So I'm doing this live so I don't have to edit it just because I'm kind of lazy. All right, now let's get to some comments real quick. See if I can get this out of the way so I can get to these comments. Okay. How are my overseas sales? The majority of my voiceover is probably overseas sales. And the reason is because I have what has been described to me by a lot of people as a general American sound, a very general American. I need to adjust this. I think I'm peaking. Very general American young guy next door voice. And that's a kind of voice that a lot of people overseas are normally looking for, because they're not really pitching anything or selling anything to like a region of America. They're just trying to, hit something, send something that hits like a larger area. And so mine just kind of fits, like it can really sound like it belongs in any state, in any area, in any region. Unless you're going for like you're specifically marketing to like Brooklyn or like North Dakota or like the Bayou. These are going to be areas where you're going to want someone a little bit more specific to that area. But if you're just trying to like throw a wide net, my voice fits in that ballpark. So I often get a lot of overseas, normally from India or Nigeria or the UK or Australia or China. So yeah, I have a good bit of overseas sales. Ayo. Heyo. I think it's Heyo. Why is the patron link the default link, not the Funny Guy Timmy link? I don't know what that means. I'll have to look that up. I have no idea. I have someone that handles a lot of the link and the Patreon stuff for me, so I'll talk to them about that. Thank you. I'll look that up. Interesting. Okay. I noticed that. That was probably the thing over there. Can you read? Can I react to Clover Productions? It's a YouTube show. Can I do? I don't really do reaction videos, and I don't really do like reviews of like movies or games. I've been debating on doing like a reaction video kind of thing, but it would have to be something like that kind of fits this channel, which not, this channel doesn't really have a thing, but can't believe you didn't educate that client. I don't know what that means. I mean, some clients you can't help, and some clients, just don't get it. It was a smaller market, so there's just some people. Well, when it comes to most companies and most clients that request voiceover, you're not really working with like their manager. You're working with like some intern that just works at the computer. Like there's a good chance this is like their first job and their first, straight out of college or whatever. And so you don't really want to like get like on their case like too much. So I normally go pretty easy on them. Please, I'll try. I'll look at it. I'll check it out. Maybe. Talking about the leak on the description. I don't even know if I can check that out here right now. Are you talking about like if you click any kind of link, it takes you to Patreon and not like my Funny Guy Timmy channel? Is that what you're saying? If that's the case, then I'll definitely fix that next time. I'll look into that. Can just subscribe to it. Okay, I'll check it out. Can't scroll down. Why can't I scroll down? Maybe I should move this up. No. Okay. Should you ever write your own demos or demo? This comes from me, who has not had even enough work able to show. Whoa. Oh, someone was probably like linking like something. I'll check that out again. Yes. All of my demos, I write myself. There are a few times when I'll take basically pre-existing, like if it's commercial, I'll take pre-existing commercials and kind of like change up the words a little bit. if it's like a cruise or something like that, I may change up the wording just so it sounds like it could fit any cruise line. Or make it, sometimes there'll be wording that's a little bit specific to like to the age or not sound like the kind of things that this voice would say. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I will kind of change it, but for the most part, if it's my character demo, I come up with that entire script. So I actually encourage writing your own if you are good at it. Some people aren't, and some people have no idea what they're doing. If that's the case and you don't know where to start, you don't know where to begin, you don't know anything about writing, you haven't read that many scripts to know, what it's supposed to sound like, I would suggest going and finding someone, talking to someone who works in the industry, but most people probably write their own. Oh, let's see. Good evening from Germany. Why did I say it like that? Wow. What just happened? Hi. I don't know why I did that. Why did I do that? I'm so sorry. I don't know if you're offended. If you're offended, I'm sorry. I don't know why that'd be. Wow, Tim. Wow. Way to make friends. This is why you don't have any friends, Tim. Yes, I can see that. I don't know if I can change that while I'm streaming. I will fix that next time. Thanks. Oh my God. Why would I don't know. People just get offended by everything nowadays. You just got to cover all bases and be like, just in case you're offended, I'm sorry that you're offended. Especially if you're a comedian. Oh, good Lord. If you're a comedian, you just got to like really cover all bases. A friend of mine is writing a fanfic. He tries writing real books. Real books? I don't know what that means. I don't know what a real book. You mean like 50 Shades of Grey? That's a real book. But says that it's very hard. It is very hard. I'm more of a journalist, but that's hard too. Journalism, I think journalism is harder. Real journalism. Most journalism nowadays, it seems to be just people like just talking about their feelings or, not really going, doing the research. So I'd say journalism is really hard. But if you're writing fiction, if you're actually writing a book, or a novel of any kind, it's probably a lot easier because you can just make stuff up off the top of your head. I've tried writing books and short stories and scripts. I've written dozens of scripts, and it's way easier than writing, like a blog or a journal or something like that. I'll stop. Okay. I'll stop about the link. Hey from Blind Bags. Is that B versus L Blind Bags? BVL Blind Bags. Hey, right back at you. So triggered. Oh, so triggered. Oh. That's true. No, I mean a real book. Oh, instead of fan fiction. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Oh, okay, like an actual novel, an actual novella, I guess, if people still call that. Instead of fanfic, I think fanfic is fine. There's actually quite a few. Here's the thing: is most original stories actually start out as fan fiction. Believe it or not, most people are writing off the springboard of someone else's idea. Superman is basically fan fiction, based very strongly off Hercules or him, Hermocles. I don't remember what the original Greek name is. I think it's like Hermocles or something like that. So he's basically springboarding off the pre-existing stories of another character. So Superman is kind of fan fiction as it is. But he's become his own thing now, so he's not really fan fiction. But so it's not really getting into the swing of doing fan fiction is fine as long as you're still learning from it and you're still, following a lot of the, the rules of thumb. There's not really like a right or wrong way, but a rule of thumb of writing stories. And you're still building your art and your skill that way. So a lot of the stuff that I've done is fan fiction, so it's totally fine. Do you have any tips for getting into the video games and cartoons? That is a very good question. As far like I'm assuming voiceover, and not like building video games or building cartoons because those are completely different industries. Um, Now, I don't like to encourage doing impressions because people think that you can just do impressions and then that you can do an entire career of doing impressions, but that's not necessarily true. But the reason that I do suggest doing impressions is it gets you in the habit of learning characters, learning voices, and building your range and your pitch. So it's like practice. A lot of painters, will recreate pre-existing paintings. A lot of writers will do fan fiction. So you're learning from other pre-existing voices. And then basically all you got to do is like create your demo. Put yourself out there for doing auditions. Find the best either agency or group or platform that would give you the best opportunities to do auditions for voiceover in the cartooning, animation, video gaming area. When people talk about pay to plays, Voice 123 normally doesn't have a lot of cartoon, video game, and character work, but voices.com often does. Not that much. Most everything out there is going to be commercial, and I don't think you can survive off doing just animation, cartoon, and video game. Oh, the AC just kicked on. I was wondering what that was. Voiceover. You're going to have to do commercial, just to survive. So, you can't just do video game. And stuff like that because there's really not that much out there. But I think definitely putting yourself anytime you do a video game and you do land a job and you do land some work to do a video game, post what you've done online, get a YouTube channel, post your impressions, your demos. Most video games and cartoons nowadays are done on a more independent level. Some of the better games that are produced yearly are independent, are really low budget, small teams. And a lot of those people, prefer working with, people they're fans of. And so if you put your stuff out there, more people are going to find you. Maybe it'll be someone who's just making a game on their own. It'll just one guy making a game and he might contact you. There's been a couple times that's happened to me. People have contacted me to do video games and they're just fans of my YouTube channel or fans of my previous work. And so they'll contact me and then we work something out. So just putting yourself out there, I guess is the best advice that I can give on that. Just one second. Get rid of that. Okay. Moving along. Okay. So B versus L says yes. Glad we cleared that up. At FunnyGuyTimmy. Oh, why is he at? But I already like your funny guy. Okay, that's what names. Yeah. So no false advertising there. Okay. Good to know. Airhaps, Herx, and perhaps Heracles. Thank you so much. Yes, you nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. Heracles, perhaps. But I need to catch up to some of these. I think both voiceover and writing video game scripts can be fun. I don't know how to write video game scripts. It actually is something that I was actually looking up today, how to actually write a video game, not like the code, but like write out a video game in an understandable format, because that is something that I used to do when I was younger, something that I enjoyed, but I just got out of the swing of it, and something that I'm trying to get back into. So maybe I'll do something about that. Oh, I can agree with that. I thought it was Dre. Trekkie? Dre alt Trekkie. Yeah. I agree too. At least it does. it does sound like a lot of fun. Video game voiceover is a lot of fun. Okay, so I got some comments that are being hidden, so now I'm terrified as to what's being said here. Has been held for review. Wow. I mean, these things happen when you do a live vlog. Writing scripts. Oh, so many comments. I can't read fast enough. You're taking advantage of a dyslexic person. It's like being hit in the face. I write scripts, and while I've not done game scripts yet, it is something I know the basics of. I really want to know where you find information on that. I really want to know where you can get information, because I've been trying to, like, if you type in like game script, you often get code, like the game code. It's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the coding. I'm looking for scripts, like how to write out, planning out the game. So if anyone knows anything about that, go ahead and leave that in the comment. A doctor was walking down the walkway. I feel like I'm going to regret this, but here we go. Okay. You know what? Let's just read it as Christopher Walken. Why not? Let's just find out what this is. Let's go down this journey. A doctor was walking down a walkway doing his rounds one day. A nurse noticed that he had a thermometer behind his ear. The nurse asked, Doctor, why do you have a thermometer behind your ear? And the doctor replied, shit. Someone's asshole has my pen. There you go. I think that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. You are welcome. Does a video game script have to follow the same old 3-act structure? That is a great question. It's another one of those things I don't know. I would say probably not. If you've seen a lot of video games nowadays, a lot of very popular video games, they seem to kind of like go all over the place, and a lot of them seem to have multiple endings, which is very, very common. And so I would say probably not. I would say it probably doesn't. I personally like the 3-act structure. However, I don't actually. There's some people that draw out the 3-act structure, and they will actually put like a little clock, and and they will put all the things that happen in their movie or in their show or what in their script, and they'll put it on a clock, and it all hits at these particular marks. And it's all based on like the hero's journey kind of thing, and same kind of thing. And I think a lot of video games could hit that. But there's a lot of stuff that's in a movie that doesn't actually find its way into most video games. Like, I'll give you a great example. A lot of like character backstory or character development doesn't normally happen in most video games. Most protagonists, most characters don't actually change from beginning to end in a video game. Master Chief is a great example. Just beating the crap out of my stuff. Master Chief is a great example. He doesn't actually change from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. He's basically the same guy. Yes, there is a plot going on around him, and there are a few characters that kind of die here and there. But essentially it's just plot. It's no character development. There's no real structure in that sense. There's, the character learns of what's going to happen if he doesn't stop this, but there doesn't really seem to be any like weight on the character's person. Like, it doesn't really seem to affect them emotionally. So yes and no. Moving right along. Means ye old Trekkie. Okay. Cool. I learned some German. I'm totally gonna forget that. I'm gonna try to remember it. If I ever want to like pick up a sock that I was missing, I'm gonna see. I'm just gonna have to look up how to say that. Are you still considering getting a TLM 103? Great question. There is actually a microphone that I've seen people using, and that actually is I'm starting to kind of lean in that direction. The problem is that a microphone that you don't really know much about, you don't really want to get as your forever mic unless you don't have any mic to work with, and then in which case you will have to. But it's from, I think it's Warm Audio. Warm Audio has a basically Norman U U U87. I think it's U87. Their big granddaddy microphone. They basically recreated that microphone, and that's something that I'm kind of leaning. It's at the same price as the TLM 103. And it has the switches and the dials, and the TLM 103 doesn't have any settings on it. But they sound very, very similar. Now, the one thing that I am hearing from a lot of other people's reviews and a lot of tests that I'm finding online is that it sounds like it has a little higher of a noise floor, but I don't know. So if I can ever find one and actually like test it, I'll probably test, and I'll probably test the two, and whichever one I like the most will be the one that I get. But again, it's just something that I'm recently discovering. So who knows? The most beautiful joke. He's probably referencing earlier. Nanu. Nanu. Who's Nanu? Who's Nanu on here? I don't think anybody knows Nanu. What's happening? Is the stream dead? No, the stream isn't dead. Still getting a good strong signal. So I think we're fine. Yep, it's the U87. Okay, cool. Confirmation. Had refreshed the browser. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened there. The thing's been streaming solid for a while. I don't think there's been anything wrong. How do you get George Bush to spare on your? Oh, how did I get George W. Bush to appear on my YouTube reel? Okay, that is not George W. Bush. I don't know if this person is joking, but that is not George W. Bush. That is actually John C. Morgan, who is the best George W. Bush impersonator I have ever seen. This is actually a really cool story. Now the people, that project was called the Bush House, and originally it was going to be this kind of The Office meets George W. Bush meets insert comedy here. And it was actually a really good idea, and the script was well written. It was very funny. And originally, the guy who wrote it approached me about doing George W. Bush, and I was like, I'd be delighted. But you're gonna have to do a lot of prosthetics, dye my hair, which I'm totally fine with. And make sure you cast a lot of people shorter than me because George W. Bush is tall. But then he told me that he was also talking to a guy named John C. Morgan, and I knew who John C. Morgan was because he was one of the people that I was watching to learn how to do a George W. Bush. And I told him, hey, go with John C. Morgan. He looks like him. You're not going to need any prosthetics. He does a great George W. Bush. Just go with that. And he was like, oh, thanks. And so basically he left me. And this has always been my motto. I'd rather not have anything to do or have very little to do with a great project than have a lot to do with a terrible one. So I told him he went with John C. Morgan. Found out later he actually wrote a character into the script just for me. And so I actually still got to be involved in that project through that. And I got to meet John C. Morgan, which was really, really cool. And we went and we had dinner, and we've been, off and on friends. I say off and on friends because we've only met like in person maybe like twice. So, but we contact each other on Facebook. So he's a real cool guy, John C. Morgan. He travels the world. He does George W. Bush all over the place. He's starting to do his Donald Trump. But he's way better, John C. Morgan. Okay. Wasn't that the Cylon from? I don't know what that means. Which the main protagonist daughter was being downloaded in. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm gonna have to go back through all this to find context. What started my interest in comedy? My comedy career started. I was working at a fast food restaurant, and this is back when I started my YouTube channel. It's like 10 years ago, and there was a friend really close friend of mine named Zach, and we would always just be joking, and we would crack each other up. And he knew that I did impressions and did voices, and he actually suggested that I go out and do stand up comedy. And I think it was for my almost turning 18. I think it was I was 17, almost turning 18. I went to Austin, Texas, to the Cap City Comedy Club up north to do an open mic. First time doing an open mic, I did impressions for my 3 or 4 minute bit. They loved it. And then the second open mic that I ever did was in Houston, Texas at the Laugh Stop, which actually closed, and I bombed. And so after that, I was like, well, obviously I need to just do the impressions and stick with that kind of comedy. And then I moved here. But what actually started my interest in comedy, there was, this is probably mostly back when I lived in California. My dad was a forester. He moved around a lot, and we would often live in cities that didn't have a lot of people our age in the area. And he would go off. He would be gone for maybe like 2 weeks and then come back for like 5 days, and he would be gone again. And what he would do is on his trip, when he's at hotels, because we didn't really have television where we were living, we just watch a lot of movies. He would bring a lot of VHS, and he would record stuff that he saw, and a lot of it was stand-up comedy, and he would record that, and then he would bring that home to us, and we'd watch that. And one of the comedians that I saw was Sinbad, early Bill Cosby. I know, yes, early Bill Cosby. Calm down. And then just a whole bunch of other comedians. I'm trying to remember his name. Anyway, there was a whole bunch of comedians that you just bring back, and so I always enjoyed the comedy. I've always been good at making people laugh and being funny and being quick and witty. So that was just kind of it, and I basically just keep the comedy going in basically everything that I do. I try to be very energetic and very fun in everything I do. So that's kind of where it started. Is okay. Glad you know. It's just else. Has the U87 the name. Cool. Yep. Yes, there's a thing about other companies having microphones called U87 at the end of their name. It'll be something U87, and basically these are all microphones that are trying to replicate the U87. There's been a few companies that have gotten close. No one's really been able to like 100% copy the U87. It's just so hard to do. But I think from what I've heard, Warm Audio has gotten the closest. So that's why I'm looking into that. Making Donald Trump would not be that hard. Just glue a terrible. Oh, just glue a tribble on your head. Yeah, pretty much. You'd have to flatten out the tribble and like just kind of smush it and just spread it thin, because his hair is really thin. And then just that the whole time, and just walk around and watch people punch you right in the face. Okay. Hey, happy 10th birthday. And the comedy career, it has been very rough. So I don't know if it's happy yet. I mean, the show that I did yesterday was kind of rough for all the comedians. But that's comedy. Comedy is not easy. Comedy is hard. Also, more or less 10th year on YouTube, more or less. This year is going to be 10th year on YouTube, and I'm still trying to get together a whole bunch of my comedians and friends to do a live stream of basically roasting my entire 10 years on YouTube. We were going to do it this month, but the South by Southwest Comedy and Music Festival, or Entertainment Festival, in Austin, Texas happened, so a lot of comedians were either booked or busy or going to be in the area, so I had to wait until this upcoming month to do that. So that's gonna be fun. Cosby is still awesome as a comedian. He is still, especially the one, I don't remember what it was. One of his first real comedy albums is still one of the ones that people pick apart to really learn how to do comedy, because of its comedy structure is actually really, really good, and the way he did multiple characters. So yes, I 100% agree. Despite everything else. What has been your favorite project you've done so far? that you can talk about. That I can talk about. Okay, thank you for narrowing that in. There's actually a game called Deadly Tower of Monsters. I believe that's it, or Deadliest Tower of Monsters. It was a game that was actually released on PlayStation 4 and Steam. And I think you can also just get it for PC and stuff like that. Because I did the audition and I read Evil Mad Scientist, so my typical, I'm thinking typical cartoon mad scientist, from like the Bugs Bunny, like very over the top. And so that's the audition that I sent, and they contacted me, within a couple hours. This was exactly what they had in mind. They booked me. I did it. I got paid really well, which was surprising because I thought it was a smaller project than it actually was. And then after I had done the script and I read the entire script, I realized, oh, this is a much bigger character than I thought it was. I thought it was like just a side character. The character is actually really relevant to the story. And yeah, it was one of the more fun because I got to do a lot of screams and a lot of different takes. And it's one of the first games that I ever did that was available on PlayStation 4, on the PlayStation 4 store. Sorry, and Steam. And so it's one of the highlights of my projects, of the projects that I've done. Is Mike Hunt here? I think I know what you're trying to do. But I'm not gonna do it. Thug life. Hashtag thug life. Not this guy. No. Look at this guy. New thug life here. I had the same with Tom Cruise, despite his thing with the sci-fi church. You know what? I have never heard anyone call it sci-fi church, but now I will not be able to get that out of my head. Still like information about. He's still a great actor. Tom Cruise is still a great actor. He's still one of my top. I'm not going to say top 10, top 20 actors, just because he's so fun. He's so energetic. He's so lively. He really is, a great actor. He does a lot of his own stunts, including driving. He actually does have a lot of range. Yes, he is crazy. And yes, Scientology, but that doesn't take away from the fact of him being a really good actor. Also, he's only like 1 inch taller than me. So there's hope. Okay. Reread Thug Life. Is that a book? Someone have to tell me if that's a book. You're welcome. Thank you. I definitely see you getting effed by Robert Sins. I can probably get beat up by a lot of people. Yeah, I remember. It was called Catholic. I don't even know what this person's talking about. Probably gonna be wrapping this up a little bit. I don't, try not to do hour-long videos, but it is good that there's been a lot of engagement. I am glad that there's been that many questions and that many people have showed up. I'm gonna try to do this once a week. If you guys still want that, let me know down below what day you'd like to see. I'm trying to do Wednesdays, but if Wednesdays are going to keep being a problem, we're just going to move this over to Thursday. Same with band William Shatner. Favorite classic doctor. Colin Baker. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Great actor and a great doctor. I don't remember which doctor was my favorite. Not a huge Doctor Who fan, mostly just because sci-fi always drives me crazy. Science fiction, just because there's more fiction than science in it. It's like, why even add the science? It's like when Data talks. You ever watch like Data talk? It just drives me. What's up? Low nose, sort of. It still drives me crazy that that's the name you went with. Low nose, sort of. Low nose, sort of is the name. How's it going? How are you? Actually, might as well ask you this question, see what you come up with. Have you heard of the Warm Audio U87? Have you ever heard of it? Have you used it? What's your opinion? I'm just going to leave that to you. And I'm going to continue going. You were the small child. Oh, that's related to, okay. I'm just related to that other stuff that I don't even know if I want to be involved in. How did a candlestick? What is going on right now? Seriously. Data should talk like that. What's up, Captain Picard? Data should talk like that. That would have been way more interesting. That would have been way more interesting. Data. How's it going? Every time I try to do Patrick Stewart, it always sounds like Sean Connery, so I just end it. Could you announce your live stream in advance so we can join in early? Yes, if I can learn how to do that. If I can figure out how to do that. I have, y'all know, for some of y'all do know that my roommate and brother, Steven, is now part of the management side of a lot of the YouTube stuff. And so he's looking into like the perfect way to do live streams and stuff like that. The only reason I did it today is because I was gone all of yesterday and it wasn't available to post any videos or do anything like that. And I needed to post a video. I'm trying to do it more regularly. So I just had to upload something. So, yeah, that would be perfect. And yes, I will do an announcement. That's what I'm trying to like figure out from people when they want to see these kind of live streams and what times of day would be best. I'm assuming around 4:00 being when it's done, either Wednesday or Thursday. So when we figure it out and we really get the format together and we really block out the time and put it on the calendar, then we're going to announce to everybody and it's going to be a regular thing. So it's my out if only tragically wrong. The sort of, okay. Yeah. The name. And no, I've never used it. Sorry, bro. No, that's fine. It's fine. It's very few have, and I've been just trying to find someone who has to find out if it's good mic. It's oh, you just uploaded the same thing. Okay, we'll just skip. Should be played by Sean Connery. I don't know. I like Patrick Stewart. Patrick Stewart's a really cool actor. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and close with. It almost sounded like I was gonna say I'm gonna close with a prayer. It's weird. In a little bit, I'm actually going to be doing I don't know if it's going to be today, but I found a way to actually do videos using a capture card, doing some art with my iPad Pro. And my older brother and I are actually going to be started doing a channel where this is something we used to do as kids. I will draw something, more or less a sketch, and then I'll send it to him, and then he will redraw it in his professional 1,000 times better than I could ever do it art style. And then it'll be kind of this back and forth thing. Like I'll come up with the idea, which is kind of my forte. I'm the idea guy, and I'll send it off to him, and then he'll redraw it. And so there's going to be a channel to that. And when I do have that information, I'll be sharing that, but that's going to be something that I'll be doing. So there won't be any more art posts on this channel, any more of my drawing videos on this channel. They're all going to be going to that channel whenever they come up. And again, and then we also have like 10 more t-shirts that are going to be hitting the merchandise store. There's going to be a whole bunch of really goofy and silly ideas, so that's also going to be coming up soon. Again, it's going to be me coming up with the idea, him redrawing it, and then going on to the t-shirts. So hopefully I'm going to be getting hands of a whole bunch of those that I can just show off. So anyway, let's finish up these messages. Patrick Stewart is awesome. Then had a chance with the Martin Sirtis. Oh, okay. Who is the idiot who gave that stream a thumbs down? This stream or that stream? What stream? There's probably a lot of people that were hoping for something else. They came in like, it's just talking, and they left. I still need to get like a backtrack of music. It's probably who it was. Is it big? Yes. Yes, it is. I'm totally getting this video taken down now. Oh my gosh. This stream, this here. Okay. I think it's like a 9.5 inch. If we're talking about the iPad. I hope we're talking about the iPad. So anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this. But yeah, hopefully gonna be doing more of these Q&As, probably Wednesday or Thursday. If Wednesday continues to be busy, I'm gonna be doing on Thursday. And then I'm gonna be giving a whole bunch of heads up. Have you experimented with live streaming on Twitch? I have not. I don't have a Twitch account. Some people are telling me to use a Twitch account. But again, I don't know anything about that. I'm a performer. I'm a writer, editor, comedian, actor, voice actor. I don't know anything about this modern, newfangled stuff, but I will probably look into that, and that will probably be the format that we will use when we figure out on what regular basis this all gets posted. Just start out vote as video projects. No, watch. There's one thing that I've heard, and I have to wonder, is it good for doing auditions? Is it better than Skype for doing auditions? Someone was saying that they kind of use it in that way, but I don't know if it's good for that. But editing VO live on Twitch. Oh, okay. Someone was doing like a video series of editing on Twitch. I mean, that sounds cool. Live long prosper. You too. Yes, I can do that. There's some people that can't. There's some people that have to go, oh, I can't. I gotta do the thing. But yes, live long and prosper. Right back at you. My friend from Germany. So anyway, this is pretty much going to be it. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is actually awesome. I didn't actually expect that many people to ask that many questions, that many people to tune in. When I have the information for you guys as far as when to regularly have these. And again, I'm going to show this off behind me. All of that. Some video game consoles. So, but when I have that information, I'll share it with you guys, and then this will be a regular thing. And yeah, so until next time, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and peace.